In this time in which a lot of employers come in Italy to work with their enterprises, it's important to know which is the Italian and European health and safety legislation. And this video summarizes the reason why foreign employers and managers working in Italy have to attend a training course on health and safety at work. Such course is organized in November, precisely the 23rd of November 2011, and this is specifically designed for employers and managers. The course is organized by the Associazione Ambiente e Lavoro, Environment and Work Environment Association, in collaboration with Euronorma, a private company on health and safety and work. The main Italian law on health and safety is the Law Decree 81 of 2008. This decree establishes specific obligations, duties and responsibilities for employer, managers and other persons charged for responsibility in all workplaces to ensure health and safety at work. The law also provides for administrative and criminal sanction in case of not compliance with the obligations. The Law Decree 81/08 provides in particular obligation and sanction, both administrative and criminal ones, for employers, managers, occupational doctors, workers and all other persons charged for responsibilities in health and safety and work. In particular, the Article 2 of the law gives some definitions to understand how the legislation in Italy works. In particular, it's important to know who an employer is for the legislation. Employer is defined as the owner of the working contract with the worker, or, in any case, the person who, taking in account the specific context in which the worker carries out his or her activity, has the responsibility of the organization of the company, of the branch, having decisional and expenditure powers. There are special cases, like in the public administration and schools. Also, we have a definition for manager. Manager is the person who, due to his and her professional knowledge and skills, hierarchical position and power related to the nature of the assignment, put into effect employer directives organizing and controlling working activities. There are other responsible persons. We call them in Italian Preposto, plural Preposti. We can define in English then as persons with specific charge of responsibilities. These are persons who, due to his or her professional knowledge within the limits of their hierarchical position and powers, supervises working activities and guarantees the fulfillment of received directives, controlling their correct execution by the workers and intervening when needed. In particular, the law provides for training and education for such persons, like employers, managers and other persons charged for responsibilities. This is specifically previewed by the Article 37, paragraph 7, and this article says that managers and persons with specific charge receive from the employer a specific and adequate training and a periodical update according to their duties on health and safety at work, and specifically on main subjects involved in their obligations, definition and individualization of hazard, risk assessment, technical, organizational and procedural prevention and protection measures. In Italy, the law requires also the presence in all workplaces of some figures like an occupational doctor, in Italian medico competente, acronym MC, a safety responsible, in Italian responsabile del servizio di prevenzione e protezione, acronym RSPP, a safety rep, rappresentante dei lavoratori per la sicurezza, known as RLS, and fighting, first aid and emergency team. The Article 18 of the law is specifically dedicated to employer and manager's obligation, such as appointing the occupational doctor, appointing the RSPP, appointing the firefighting, first aid and emergency teams, consider workers' condition related to their health and safety condition while assigning their tasks. Again, Article 18 obliges employers and managers to give workers specific and adequate personal protection devices, in Italian dispositivi di protezione individuale, DPI, having consulted RSPP and MC, the occupational doctor. Operate in such a way that only properly trained workers have access to areas with specific and serious hazard. Again, obligation requires employers to require workers to respect law and regulation and to apply companies' procedure and instruction on health and safety, including the use of collective and personal protection devices. Again, send workers to the medical visits within the time scheduled by the MC and require the doctor to perform his or her duties, and inform immediately the doctor of any contract termination. Again, to adopt measures to manage the situation in case of emergency and give instruction to workers to abandon the workplace or the area in case of serious, sudden and non-avoidable risk. Once more, immediately inform workers when exposed to a sudden and serious risk about the risk itself and the protection measure taken or to be taken. And don't ask workers to work in a situation with serious and sudden risks apart from motivated exceptions related to health and safety reasons. Perform workers' information and training obligation provided for in Articles 36 and 37 and allow all workers to verify through safety reps, the RLS, the application of health and safety measures. Give the safety reps on request a copy of the risk assessment report. The report can be consulted only inside the company. Write the report previewed by Article 26, so-called DUVRI, interferential risk document. Again, obligation. Take proper measure to avoid that health and safety measures can affect the external environment or be dangerous for the general population. Inform the Public Work Accident Insurance Company, INAIL, about all accident with at least 1 day of absence excluding the day of the accident itself. Consult RLS when provided for Article 50. When acting as subcontractor, give workers a badge with worker's photo, name and the name of the employer. In companies or branches with more than 15 workers, organize at least an annual meeting on health and safety provided by Article 35. Update prevention measures according to the organizational and productive changes involving health and safety and to scientific and technological progress. Control that workers assigned to tasks for which the medical surveillance is needed have been classified as fit by the medico competente, the occupational doctor. And give RSPP and MC all information about hazards, work organization, prevention measures, plans and process descriptions, control bodies, measures. Employer and manager must control that person with charges, workers, designers, producers, furnishers, installers and MC perform their obligation, taking account that control body, without the local health district officer, can enter the factory or the office or the workplace in any case, in any moment without advertising. Even in case of delegation, employers and managers remain totally responsible for health and safety at work unless it's demonstrated that there has been no lack of control by them and the fact is entirely attributable to delegates' behavior. There are also other obligations like identification of hazard and risk assessment and the definition of hazard and risk assessment. Risk assessment, in particular, is defined as a global and documented assessment of all risk for workers' health and safety, aimed to find adequate prevention measures and elaborate a program to guarantee the continuous improvement of health and safety levels. At the conclusion of the risk assessment procedure, a report shall be produced, even in digital format, with certain date certified by the signatures of the employer, the RSPP, the RLS and MC. On all these topics and issues, a course in English on Italian health and safety legislation work will be held, as already said, in Milan, November 23, 2011. The course is specifically designed for employers and managers. The teacher and scientific responsible of the course is Dr. Graziano Frigeri, Occupational Doctor, European Secretary of EWHN, European Work Hazard Network, and Vice President of the European Union Institution Medical Board. In the second part of the course, a question-and-answer session will take place with the participation of the most qualified Italian jurists. Many thanks to all of you, and goodbye.